Welcome to episode 7 of Ask Trent, where I answer your questions so that you know that you're not alone in your journey with playing with the BrainSpeed ball. The question is, why did I decide to print A through Z and 1 through 12 on the ball? And it's really simple. I want to give you options. I want to give you options so that the game that you play stays feeling fresh, you can stay creative with it, and come up with many, many new games as you become more experienced with playing BrainSpeed ball. So at a foundational level, we know that it's a game of catch that either you're playing with yourself against a wall, or up the stairs, or with a friend or family member back and forth. And you're tracking the ball as it comes into your hand, and then you're spotting a letter or number and you're saying it out loud. So you have that visual training, you have the vestibular training, and you have the brain processing training that's built into the game. But after a while, that might be really easy and not as stimulating. So having A through Z gives you the ability to come up with different games and word associations with those letters. So for example, you might decide that instead of saying the letter M when you catch M and you track M, you come up with a word that starts with M. So you say mouse, you throw the ball back, you catch it again, and instead of saying B, you say book, and you throw it back and forth. So it could be any word. You might also decide to make that the first letter of a name of somebody that you know, or a name that you recognize. So you catch it and say Aaron, throw it back, catch it again, say Paul, back and forth that way. So it gives you creativity and gives you a little bit more freedom in ways to make unique and fresh games. One that's really fun that I like is a geography game. So when you catch the ball, instead of saying just the letter out loud, you pick a place in the world that starts with that letter. So you catch it and you say, it could be a country, could be a city, could be a state, a continent, an ocean, a mountain, could be anything geography related. That's a fun way to play too. Now, when it comes to the numbers, you have A through 12, and that allows you to, again, play the tracking game where you're tracking and saying the number out loud, but taking it a step further, you could do a math game. So every time you catch the ball, you're adding the number that you tracked to the number you caught previous. So if the first number I catch is 3, throw it back, track and catch is 6, instead of saying 6, I would add them and say 9. Throw it back, here it comes again, and it's a 1, so I'd say 10. And you could just keep adding until you get to 100. And then what I like to do is then start subtracting until you get back down to 0. And sure, if you get to negative numbers, you could go negative and continue that way as well. It's really about giving you options so that the game always feels fresh and fun and encourages you to tap into your natural creativity and coming up with games that feel like they're the most beneficial for your situation. You know, when you get used to a game, that's when it's time to change. And having the different letters and numbers allows you to change the game so that you're not playing the same game all the time. I really encourage a daily practice because it's awesome to reinforce an efficient brain, an engaged brain, a regulated system. It's awesome every day. But when you're playing every day, you need fresh and new ways to play. So this really comes down to what I'm going to say next is that's a challenge I have for you with this episode is what are some unique and fun ways that you've come up with on your own, incorporating the letters and numbers maybe in different and unique and fun ways that you could share with the community. Either throw in some comments down below or even film a little video. Bonus points for filming a video of you playing your unique game. I'm sure that somebody in the community would benefit greatly from seeing a new way to play. They might even have comments in ways that they recognize, hey, I play like that too, but here's also what I do. And they might be able to layer in something for you. So I encourage you to get engaged and connect with other people in the community because there's a lot of really wonderful games that are being played and they're really worth sharing. If you have any more questions or want me to dive deeper on the subject of what's printed and how to really leverage it, also put that in the comments below. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Ask Trent, and I'll see you next time.